If you want to start playing more loose, more carefree, and stop overthinking in games, a large reason why we're overthinking in the first place is how we learn the skills that we're using in the game. So if we look at something like shooting, for example, when we're growing up or first learning how to shoot, it's going to be a trainer telling us how to shoot, or maybe you're on YouTube looking up the proper technique. The common cues that we're told of the proper technique are things like keep your feet and shoulders square to the hoop, get your elbow 90 degrees, snap your wrist, finish with your elbow at your eyebrow. How we learn something is ultimately what we're going to revert back to when there's expectations to perform. When the game's on the line, when there's fans in the stands, how we learn something becomes our anchor. It's what we come back to. So if how we learn to shoot is feet square, shoulders square, elbow 90 degrees, snap your wrist, finish with your elbow at your eyebrow, that becomes a lot that we have to think about, hence overthinking in the game. So how we can stop overthinking in games is by trusting the brain of our body and having an external focus. So one of the cues that I used for shooting was snapping our wrist. That is an internal focus because we're thinking internally, we're thinking about a part of our body, our wrist. So what we can do to flip that to be an external focus is kind of trim the fat with how we learn stuff. So we can critically think, okay, well, why do I need to snap my wrist? It's important that I snap my wrist because I want to shoot the ball straight. I don't want to miss left. I don't want to miss right. So we can then flip to think about something in our external environment that would help us shoot straight. So something that I have my guys do a lot is the make only counts if it hits the back rim and then goes in. By doing this, we're thinking externally, we're thinking about hitting the back rim, which is not a part of our body, it's out in our environment, and then we let the brain of our body just sort itself out and get the job done. As humans, we have our head brain, which is what we're most comfortable using, but we also have the brain of our body. So if we think about digesting the food that I just ate, I don't have to use my head brain to think about digesting it, my body just takes care of it. Same thing with my hair or my nails growing longer, or even something like going for a walk. If we're just walking, we don't have to consciously think about, oh, I need to stay on balance, I hope I don't fall. Our body just takes care of it. Our bodies have a natural way of organizing themselves to complete a task, and when we get on the court, it's no different. So if we're making 20 jump shots, the make only counts if we're hitting the back rim and in. What I start to notice, or what my guys start to notice, is we miss 2, 3 in a row maybe, and then we want to start using our head brain because that's what we're conditioned to do. And it's very natural. If we think about the school system that we all grew up in, all of it is filled with head brain thinking. Charts, graphs, numbers. The scientific method is 5 steps. So we've been conditioned to use our head brain for a lot of the stuff that we do. So with these reps, we're developing that trust with our brain body and also having that external focus, which is how we stop overthinking in games.